Did the crazy of 2020 ruin my writer goals? And what plans do I have for 2021? Well, spoiler alert, somehow in this crazy year, I managed to accomplish all of my writer goals. So I'm super excited to share with you guys what those were and the steps I took to actually accomplishing them. And I'm really excited to also tell you guys what I'm planning this year, which includes finally publishing. Fingers crossed. I got the plan. Hopefully it's going to happen. But we're working towards that. And because of that, and really wanting to make that the main focus of my year this year, there's going to be some changes to my platform, specifically here on YouTube. I'll be talking about that at the end. And a lot of them are actually pretty exciting. But if you want to hear about that, you're going to have to stay till the end. But let's get right into the 2020 goals. And I have a bunch of you here live, but whether you're live or on the replay, I would love for you guys to share some of your highlights from 2020, the biggest things you were excited about that you can have gratitude for, that you feel proud of. And I'm going to share mine as well as you guys are typing. And I'm going to pull up my screen here because you guys know I love to use visuals as well. But I already have a bunch of you sharing some of your biggest highlights. So as I share mine, let's pop in here. And Rachel published her debut novel. So super excited for you, Rachel. Leanne also published her first series of short stories. So yay, Leanne. And then I think I saw that JJ was here early too, and she queried her YA contemporary fantasy. So many cool things, you guys. So many great things that I'm seeing. Megan also, let's see, I'm proud from 2020 she launched her website and newsletter, and Megan's actually a student of mine in my author website bootcamp course. So Megan, I'm super proud of you. You did such a great job. Yay, so many others that I will try to pull up as we go along. But let's get into what happened in my year. As I usually do, I focus on 1 to 3 main goals throughout the year, and I organize those goals into 3 main categories of my writer life. So first of all, you can see that I have publishing, duh, that is the main goal. And then I have platform, which then builds a readership to support the main goal of publishing by building that readership. And then business, because I work for myself, I'm building an income to support my publishing endeavors. And I have some side hustles that's going to work in conjunction with my published books. So those are the main categories. And then I pick one goal for each of those categories that I focus on throughout the year, and then think of tasks that I can do throughout the year to then get there. And that doesn't mean that I don't pursue anything else throughout the year, but what this does help me do is it acts as like a compass. It acts as like this thing that, like, when I get sort of distracted by the shiny thing over here, I can go back to my 3 main goals and be like, does this fit in these 3 main goals? Is it going to help me get there? And if it doesn't, should I really be doing it? And I really have a hard time saying no. I don't know if you guys do as well, because I have extreme like FOMO that I'm gonna like fear of missing out. And but this really helps me most of the time stay focused. So that's really fun. I see Katie here and Child of God and Gabrielle. You guys, I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for sharing in the comments. I will pull up some more in just a bit. But my main goals from 2020 were for publishing. I wanted to secure a mentor or agent, or be ready to self-publish by 2021. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. For platform, so this includes for me YouTube, Instagram, and my author newsletter, and a couple other side things, but those are the main things. So I wanted to create purposeful content. We'll talk about what that means in a second, but also simplify the process that it takes for me to make that content so that the making of the content doesn't totally pull away from the goal of publishing. And then for business inside income, I wanted to make a certain amount of money each month and try to work towards making that a little more passively than I have in the past. So those are my goals. And let's dig into the main goal of publishing. But I do want to call out a few more people that are sharing their wins. So Child of God says, this might be a weird one, okay? But a fairly big highlight is actually a failure. And that's totally fine. Actually, one of my mantras this year was fail faster, or take messy action even when you're afraid. And so I love that it was a failure, but the failure has taught me. I tried to fast draft a book and it was rough and I scrapped it, but I've learned from it. And that's what you can't really fail in failure if it becomes your teacher and it can really teach you something. So Child of God, I'm so glad that you shared that. Thank you so much. And Gabrielle says, I traditionally publish my debut, Not Always Blue Skies, and reached the top 10 in 2 Amazon UK lists. I reached the top 20 in Amazon CA and AU. So happy. Oh, we're so excited for you as well and can't wait to see what 2021 brings along. Anybody else getting tripped up on the 2020, 2021? I can't always get it fully nailed down. But okay, so how did this happen for me with the publishing direction? So first, I was pursuing traditional, but then also started pursuing self-publishing at the same time. And how that happened is I was trying to get On Wings of Ash and Dust, which is my young adult fantasy novel about my world of fairies. And I was trying to get that traditionally published, going in that direction. And so I submitted to mentorship opportunities like Author Mentor Match and RevPit. But then I was also moving into the querying realm. So one thing I did was submit to PitMad on Twitter, where you share a pitch of your story and an agent, if they like it, can like it and basically tell you that they want to see your manuscript right away. So I actually got a like from an agency on PitMad, which was super exciting, sent off my manuscript, and then was also thinking though with that I have to wait to hear back from this agent. Traditional publishing also takes a super long time, even when they accept you, yada, yada. This is a whole nother video that we can get into how traditional publishing works. And so I was like, I have this great audience. I have so many of you guys watching my videos every week and interacting with me on Instagram and Patreon. And I'm just like, I want to get something out to them so bad. And so at the same time that I was pursuing traditional with Ash and Dust, I was like, okay, I think I'm going to self-publish something. And a lot of you that have followed me this year know about Sisters of the Shadowwood. It's also a young adult fantasy, but it is a serial. So it's like a TV show, but in book form. It's kind of like a mini series. So when you think of a typical series of novels, these are like short novels that all run together in a series, but they're more called like episodes. So this was a really exciting project. I'm still pursuing it. But about halfway through the year, with the crazy year that we had, traditional publishing kind of slowed down, like even more than it usually does. And so I was like, you know what? I am going to switch gears and I'm going to self-publish Ash and Dust first because I'm really excited about this project. I've had multiple beta readers look at it, CPs. I've gotten tons of feedback, and it is at the point that it just needs a developmental edit. It needs a cover designer, line edit, copy edit, all that stuff, and it'll be done and ready to publish. And I've always thought about actually publishing this as a serial first before publishing as a novel because there's a competition that happens throughout it, and it would be so cool to have an episode for each part of the competition. So if you guys have seen the video that's on the screen here, why I'm self-publishing my first book, I talk more about it. But this year, I switched gears to self-publishing On Wings of Ash and Dust. I hired a developmental editor, so I'm in the midst of applying her edits right now. We're going to have whole videos about how that's going because it is hard, you guys. Like editing like in stages is one thing because you're like, oh, like the next round I can like edit that. But like I'm at the point that I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is the final edits. They need to be good. So I'm trying not to stress out about it. Getting like a hot flash just thinking about it right now. But it's going well. It's still going well. My developmental editor is really great. And I'm working with a cover designer for the different episodes of the serial. And we have 3 out of the 6 episodes. Those covers are done and they're looking so cool. And I can't wait to reveal them to you guys. And then I just recently booked a copy editor who's also going to do line edits for me once I get these developmental edits done. So technically I am on track to publish in 2021. So check mark for this publishing endeavor. I'm really, really excited. I just want to say hi to Maya and Cassidy. Thanks guys so much for hanging out. And I also wanted to let you guys know that you can now, I'm going to pull this up big so you can see it. You can now add On Wings of Ash and Dust to Goodreads, which is super exciting. If you don't know what Goodreads is, it's such a cool platform to save the books that you're reading or have read. You can write reviews or mark a star review. You can see what your friends are reading. And then you can keep track of authors you're following. And so you can actually go to goodreads.com right now, search On Wings of Ash and Dust or Brittany Wang, and you can add it to your want to read list. And I also really encourage you to follow my actual Brittany Brittany Wang profile that's there at the bottom right there, because the episodes are going to come out first. And so what you're going to save right now to your want to reads is the full novel that will come out later with all the episodes packaged into one novel. But if you want to be alerted about all the episodes as well that are coming up, definitely follow that account. So that was super exciting. And then finally, with writing and publishing, I also wanted to shout out a bunch of the courses that I took this year. If you guys are looking for great courses that help you with self-publishing or writing, I'll pull this big up again. I took Sarah Cannon's Publish and Thrive course, which was amazing. And I'm definitely have to dig back into all of that again as I'm going through the process. Tomi Adeyemi's The Writer's Roadmap, which is amazing, especially if you're looking to traditional publish. Jessica Brody's fast drafting course I loved from her Writing Mastery Academy. That was a really, really great right before NaNoWriMo. And then for serial help, if you're writing a serial, Amara Luciano's Long Story Short course was amazing. And also Shonda Rhimes's Writing for Television through masterclass.com. I learned a lot about writing for television that also can help you sort of structure your serial. So that was really fun. Some of you guys are saying that you're going to add it to your Goodreads list. So I'm really, really excited. And Megan's saying that she's geeking out for the cover reveals. I'm geeking out too. So I can't wait. Hi, Bethany. Bethany says, yay for publishing goals and also loving the quality of this video and the camera you're using. Thank you. Yes, I figured out how to use my Canon camera to live stream with you guys. So hopefully let me know in the comments, are you liking the quality? And I have a special microphone over here that's helping the audio as well. So let me know if the stream is going well, if it's good quality, and if this is making it a little more fun for you guys to do live streams with me. Leanne is also saying, I got masterclass for Christmas. I'm taking Shonda Rhimes' class right now. Yes, girl, do it. So yes, so that was publishing. We're already at 18 minutes, so I can tell you already this video is going to be a little long, but what I'm going to do for any of you watching on the replay is I'm going to put time markers afterwards so that you can skip around to the different parts. But I didn't want to slow down this video. One of my goals this year is to actually make my live streams on the shorter side for the most part so that it is easier to watch on a replay. But if I do like a workshop, a masterclass, or like have a big like update like this or reveal party or something, they might be a little bit longer. So I'm loving that the quality is great. Thank you, child of God. JJ added it to her, Ashton Dust to her book reads list. So thank you, thank you. Okay. So number 2 goal, and we're going to go through these a little bit faster, but for me, again, my platform includes YouTube, Instagram, and my author newsletter. In 2020, I wanted to focus less on growth and just getting numbers and focus more on creating purposeful content that partnered with my main goal of publishing. And this was to, instead of just being like, what content can I produce to just make sure I have content? It's more, what can I already pull from my plate so that if I'm working on self-publishing, maybe I should share content on self-publishing. If I'm working on setting up my goals for the month, I should share that and do like a YouTube video about that. So it's already pulling stuff from what I'm already doing instead of having to spend extra time on other things that aren't helping me ultimately achieve my publishing goals. And then I wanted to simplify the content process so it didn't take away so much time from that main goal of publishing. And in many ways, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm still trying to improve on this, but some of the effective ways I did this was creating YouTube series for you guys that were sort of reoccurring month to month. And one of those series was writing a fantasy serial about Sisters of the Shadowwood. So if you want to hear more about that project, which will get published eventually, or you're interested in serials in general, you can check that out. And that was just really cool. Like every month I was like, okay, I already know one of my videos that I'm going to do. It's going to build on this series that people can binge watch and hopefully enjoy for a long time. And it also was in tandem with my publishing goals. Then I did another series called my Plan With Me series, which is sort of like this video where I would share my goals from last month and share what my goals were going to be going forward and what I was learning along the way. But also we spent a lot more time hearing your guys' goals as well. So if you guys enjoyed the Plan With Me videos, let me know because I'm considering continuing them this year, but I definitely want to make sure that's something that you guys thoroughly enjoy. And then a big part of simplifying my content process was that had to do with YouTube as well. And one way I did this was to go almost exclusively to live streaming on YouTube. I go live pretty much every week right now, and this cut my video time making down so much that I had more time to actually work on my book. So if you're a YouTuber considering doing YouTube, live streaming isn't for everyone, but for me, instead of scripting and then filming and then editing and then putting the video up and then promoting, it's that I script it, I pre-promote it, I do the live, and then I promote it, and it's done. So for me, that was definitely worth it. And through this, even though I was focusing less on growth throughout this year on my platforms, I still grew my platforms a ton, especially here on YouTube. If you guys notice, we're over 7.5 thousand subscribers. And that was a total of over 3,000 new subscribers this year. So if you joined me this year, especially, and if you've been with me for a long time on this channel, thank you so much for subscribing and going on this journey with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet and you're getting value out of this and you love writerly things and YA fantasy and all that fun stuff, definitely make sure, I think I need some water at some point soon. Definitely make sure to subscribe. Whew, talking a lot. But yes, okay. Megan's saying, I'd love to see a video like that. Awesome. And Child of God says, do you have any ideas yet for what you'll work on after On Wings of Ash and Dust and Sisters of the Shadowwood? Maybe too early. Might be too early. Yeah. Definitely Sisters of the Shadowwood next, but I do have some fun possibly standalone book projects that I have in the works as well, but they're definitely in the back burner. Gabrielle says, so glad you're self-publishing in 2021. I'm going to be self-publishing in 2021 too. Yes, high five through the screen. It's my first self-published novel and I'm a bit worried about it. That's okay. We can do it together. Super fun. Okay. So let's do number 3. And number 3 goal was I reached my income goal every month this year, which was crazy. And I did make things a little more passive. So even more than my YouTube subscriber count, I grew my YouTube ad revenue progressively throughout the year. And I'll just pull this up bigger so you guys can see a little clearer. I also had many new patrons join our writer support community over on Patreon. We have over 70 patrons, and I actually just added a new tier for author tubers. I opened only 5 slots. It's an AuthorTube master, what am I calling it? A master class, not master class, mastermind. It's an AuthorTube mastermind group. And I only opened up 5 spots for now. They all got snatched up within like a day or two. So I might open up a couple more. Let me know if you'd be interested in that. But we have so much fun over there. And over 70 patrons is just blowing my mind. Also, I promoted my author website bootcamp course where I teach writers how to create an author website and newsletter that grows their platform and readership. And I ran discounts throughout the year and got a bunch of new students. So if you're interested about that, let me know because I can tell you more. And as for new additions to my income streams, I added a YouTube membership program for those that wanted to support my channel directly and maybe weren't interested in Patreon, but really love my YouTube and just want to support me directly. So I'm really excited because I got to create fun badges and emojis with my friend Ingrid from Arctic Paintbrush on Instagram based on my characters from my upcoming book. So that was really cool. Huge thank you to those who have joined the membership program. And it's so fun to see you guys using the emojis in the chat each week. I know some of you are here right now that are YouTube members. So if you want to throw some of those emojis in the chat box right now so people can see them, that would be awesome. And probably the most exciting thing I added to my business and income streams was using these badges and emojis that Ingrid put together to create super fun merch for my upcoming books and build momentum and excitement for that. And it has been so cool to see you guys getting the merch and getting excited about the book and then tagging me with pictures on Instagram. So if you have pictures and you have not tagged me yet and I've missed it, please tag me because I'd love to see it. And I want to say a big thank you to these lovely people who have Holly and Katie and JJ and Mary, who were great in some of the people that posted stuff. So this was super fun. Definitely a highlight. And the great thing about merch is, yeah, it was a lot of work to create and promote the first time, but now it's just there and I can promote it whenever. And so in essence, it becomes like passive income because Teespring is awesome and we'll create it for you. So those are my 2020 goals, 26 minutes later. And as I set up my 2021 goals, though, I'm going to be using the same 8-step strategy I used the last 2 years to accomplish my goals. And if you'd like to see or try the same step-by-step process, I created a 2021 goal setting workbook for my patrons, which helps you narrow down your goals to what's most important and valuable to you, brainstorm steps to achieve them, break down those steps into quarterly and weekly tasks, create a time block schedule so you can make sure you have time to get everything done, learn how to find accountability. Plus, it has specific examples from how I followed these steps in 2020. It's always good and helpful to see examples, right? So this workbook is actually still available to all patrons. So if you would like to grab it at the $2 tier and check out our awesome Patreon group, you can check that out at patreon.com/author Brittany Wang, or the link is down below. But that was super fun. And I know a bunch of you guys here in the chat have used the workbook. So if you found it valuable, definitely let us know. Okay, now we're finally moving on to 2021, and this part will be a little bit faster because I have less to say because they're just goals. But let me know in the comments, again, whether you're live or in the chat box below, what is one of the most important goals you want to accomplish in 2021? I would love to know that. And I just want to shout out, JJ says the goals workbook is so helpful. Yay. And Rachel said, oh, you're so sweet. The author website bootcamp was also a huge highlight for 2020. Definitely couldn't have made my website without you, Brittany. Rachel, you're the sweetest. And I see a goal for this year. Child of God says, my big goal this year is to finish my first draft. I'm guess you'd call it long drafting. That's fine, but hoping to finish it by July at least. I love that. I love it. Okay, so now this year, since I'm going to be publishing, I wanted to narrow down even more for my 2021 goals. And I just have 2 categories, publishing, duh, and business. And my platform basically supports my business so much that every goal I tried to make just about my platform still ended up about my business. So both of those things are going to be even more purposely unified, which I love. And to talk about, ooh, shoot, my camera somehow went away. Hold on 1 second, you guys. I'm going to come back in a second. Hold with me. Hold with me. Okay, we're back. I got to fix that. I got to figure out how to fix that. But for publishing, I wanted to start publishing on Wings of Ash and Dust, the serial. And what I'd love, this is like timeline hopes, is that I would love to start doing this, start publishing the episodes by this summer, if not earlier. So I'm working on that. I would also love to get the hardcover of On Wings of Ash and Dust out to you guys before the end of the year. So that would package all the episodes into one book in a hardcover. And then my reach goal is maybe to also get the paperback out to you guys too, but we'll see. And another reach goal is to start working on the audiobook, whether I hire someone or maybe start trying to do it myself, because I loved theater growing up and I love dramatic reading. And so I was like, I could save a ton of money by doing it myself. I just want to make sure it's good quality. So those are my dreams and thoughts for publishing. But one kind of sub goal of that, okay, is my big dream is not just to publish a book or publish a series, but to start building a fandom for my books and my series. Sometimes when I hear writers talk about book publishing strategy, they're rushing off to finish their current story because they want to get on to the next book. And this totally makes sense because especially if you're self-publishing, more books you have out usually means more money and more reach. But I really want to make the most out of all the hard work I've put into each book and each series. And so I spend time on. So I want my stories to have more than the traditional shelf life of a book, which I've heard is usually only a couple years. And I've already spent a couple years writing this book, so I want it to last longer than that. But when you look at really popular fandoms like Harry Potter, those books continue to get bought, and even gain new readership because there is a super great fandom following it. And so I'm going to pull up my little vision board here because I thought it'd be really fun to show you guys some of the things on here. But some of the fandoms I really, really love, right, are Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. And then I'm super excited to see some of my fandoms like develop into even more like movies and books, like Children of Blood and Bone is going to become a movie. Shadow and Bone is going to become a TV show. I think it's in March. I'm really excited about that. And so for me, like, I'm just being real with you guys and open with you guys about like my heart's desire is I want my stories to affect my readers the same way some of my favorite stories and series have affected me so greatly. I love the stories that really impact me beyond my first time reading them. Let me know if this resonates with you guys. Stories that make me want to read them again and again because they make me feel like I'm not alone, that these characters feel so real and relatable that they kind of feel like friends. It's kind of sad, but true. And the world and the setting of the books are ones that I wish I could experience. And you can see, I've actually gone to like Harry Potter World. I got my wand in one of those pictures. And I also traveled all the way to New Zealand with my husband to experience the movie set of Hobbiton and dressed up as hobbits because I love this franchise so much. I love this fandom. And one of our Ben and I would also really love to go to Star Wars World in Disney because we're big fans of Star Wars. And only true fans do that. Like, and I know that a lot of these are like traditionally published books that have a lot of marketing and different things like that. But there's also some really great self-published authors that build huge fandoms like Sarah Cannon. But I really love these books too that challenge me in the best way possible. That while I'm going about my day, I find myself connecting things to the books I've read. Like I'm really struggling with like something, but it's kind of, I think to myself, it's kind of like that moment where like in Lord of the Rings where Sam and Frodo wouldn't give up even when they were tired and weak and discouraged and all seemed lost. I don't know. Am I the only person who thinks these things? Let me know. But I love stories that hit me hard and move me to laugh or cry, ones that make me wish that they were made into movies and TV shows and completely freak out when they actually are made into those. Stories that make me want to get all the fun merch, the t-shirts, all the things and wear them proudly, where I feel driven to create character art or cosplay, where I easily bond with other fans who are passionate about different fan theories and which characters they ship together in the story. Again, this might sound super silly, and maybe like an unreachable dream, but since I love fandom so much, I would love to cultivate a readership with my books that have those same kind of fans and have that same kind of reach. So again, I don't know if any of you can relate. Let me know in the comments if you do, but as a sneak peek for some changes with YouTube, this is like something that I want to delve into. I want to research, I want to look into, and I want to maybe do case studies on people that have created fandoms with their books and try to figure out how the heck did they do that and move from there. And I've already started obviously with like merch and different things like that. But yeah, I have so many more ideas and I can't wait to share them with you guys. Leanne is totally jiving with me. Fandom would be so amazing. Rachel says, I totally agree with having people fall in love with my characters and stories. It would be amazing to have fandom. What a cool, unique goal. Thank you. Yes, I love it so much. Yes. Of other fandoms, Avatar, The Last Airbender. Yes. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah. Let me know what your biggest fandoms are. I would absolutely love to know that. Okay. My second goal for 2021, are you guys having fun? Let me know if you're still having fun, is for my business, which also includes my platform. So I want to make a certain amount of money per month. That's more than I made this past year through the content that I create that will give value, but also support my business and my book dreams, right? So to do this, I'm not fully excited or ready to share specific numbers yet. Sometimes I do that with my patrons if you want to check that out. But I have a good, better, and best goal for my income goals. And you can actually use this strategy with any goal that you have. But you can create a good goal. And for me, I have like a baseline of what I want to make every month. And then my better goal is kind of like a little bit of a reach goal of what I want to make every month. And then my best goal is like this, it would be so amazing to make this, and maybe I'll make it, maybe I won't, we'll see, or to reach by the end of the year. And if I do that, I'll basically be making as much as I was making with my day job. So that's a huge, huge goal for me. Some of you are just jumping in. Hi, Nikki. You guys can watch the replay after this, and I'm going to put little time markers so that you guys can jump around then. But I'm just sharing some goals coming up this year, and that is my income goal. But how does it sort of go with my platform, right? So here's my thought process and ideas on how I want to still make content that gives you guys so much value, but also partners even more with supporting my book dreams and business even more. And basically, I want to do things that you guys seem to enjoy most, but that I'm really excited about too. And this is specifically, I'm going to talk about YouTube because you guys are here on YouTube and probably want to know about that. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going to build actively with you guys a little vision board for what my YouTube channel is going to look like. So the first thing I put on my vision board is live streams, because I think I'm definitely going to keep doing live streams. I did mention earlier in this video that I think I'm going to try to keep them to about 20 minutes or less for the most part, because I think it's easier for a lot of people to watch them on the replay. But if I do like a full out workshop or interview or masterclass or like something really big like this video, I'm going to go over. So that will be kind of sporadic, but I'm going to try to keep my live streams a little more concise so that you guys can watch them on the replay. Also know that you can also click the gear icon at the bottom of the video and speed up the video so you can actually watch it even like 2 times faster and get through the content half as fast, just so you know when you're watching on the replay. But let me know, have you guys been enjoying the live streams? Especially if you guys are watching this on the replay later, let me know if you're okay watching live streams on replays, or if you really miss my pre-made videos, because I do have some plans to sprinkle in some pre-made videos, maybe some vlogs, maybe some daily or week in the life, more my process with things and like behind the scenes. So let me know if you'd like a good mix of like live stream and pre-made. What are your guys' preferences? Because literally, I'm making the content for you. So please let me know your thoughts. Obviously, we will also have writing tips, but also self-publishing tips as I go on that journey even more this year. Tips, tools, resources. I have a thought about doing a series too, documenting my publishing journey with Ash and Dust, and maybe calling it the Self-Publishing Diaries or My Self-Publishing Diaries, and sort of sharing with you guys what I'm learning along the way and giving you guys tips for your own journeys. I also want to explore how to create a fandom. And so, like I mentioned before, I might do case study videos on like the Harry Potter series or series writers like Sarah J. Maas. I mentioned Sarah Cannon before. Yeah, because I really have on my bucket list, there's so many things like seeing merch of my books, which I've already done, which is great, but seeing fan art, fan fiction, cosplay. My brother's actually building a board game based on my book right now. So all of those kind of things, I'm like all about and super excited about it. Then one thing I really want to do even more of too is talk more about young adult fantasy books, because that's what I write. And since one of my side goals is to read a lot this year, as I finish a book, I've been thinking about doing like a recap video of what I learned from that book, and maybe even break down the Save the Cat beat sheet for those books. And I might even let like my patrons vote on those books or get like the full printout of the Save the Cat beat sheet. I have a lot of ideas for that, but let me know if you'd be excited about that, because I would love to document what I'm learning from each book and share it with you guys. And I also really love outlining and plotting, and the Save the Cat stuff would be great. I also will, of course, keep talking about productivity, goals, all those kind of things, plan with me's, tools for writers. I've already covered and will probably continue to cover bullet journals, Trello, Google Calendar, Scrivener, series Bibles, and more. But if you guys have certain tools that I have not covered that you're like, hey, do you want to try this tool that I've heard of, and like let us know if it's any good, let me know, because I am totally open to doing that. And then I really also want to delve even deeper into how your author website and an author newsletter can help you grow and build a readership, and also get clients if you have a side hustle or a business. So that is something I really, really want to do. I've been thinking about asking my students from the Author Website Bootcamp if I can be showing some of their websites as examples, and showing maybe even before and afters, and doing some critiques and stuff. So that is something I've been thinking about as well. And then this microphone picture up here too is about doing collaborations. And I just realized I probably should have pulled this up so you guys can see this even more. But I would love to do even more collaborations, more interviews. So if you guys have any requests or ideas, definitely let me know about that as well. Or any ideas in general, really. I would love to hear them. And now that this is why I want to pull my face back up here for a second, because in doing all of this, obviously I want to create all this content for you guys. But I'm going to stress again with my goal, stress to you guys and myself that publishing is the main thing this year. The publishing is going to happen. There's really no reason why it shouldn't. And so I really want to make that the focus. I don't want anything getting in the way of that. And so because of that, especially as I'm in this editing process that I'm in, that is taking up so much of my brain power and mental emotionalness right now, because it's like these final edits that we'll have a whole video about all the feels about editing the final edits. But because of that, I'm saying that I might not always have a video for you guys every single week, at least for the next month or two, as I try to finish these developmental edits. And I hope you guys can understand that. I might also sprinkle in some pre-made videos or just like real quick kind of pre-made videos here and there to fill out some stuff. But the publishing needs to happen. And I swear to you guys, once I get over the developmental edits, especially, I'm going to have so much to share with you, so much more like cover reveals. And as I go into the self-pub process, I can't wait to share that stuff with you guys, but I can't share it until I experience it. So I need to get the editing done first. So I hope you guys can understand that. But know that when I do come on here for a live stream or I do bring a video, it is going to be jam-packed and going to be so helpful, I think. So I have a lot of you. I know I saw a lot of comments, so I'm going to just look back for a second so I don't miss anything. Thank you, Megan, for encouraging me. It doesn't sound silly at all to be excited about a fandom. Having a fandom for your books would be a dream come true. Yes. Rachel says, would love to see your process of studying how to grow a fandom. That would definitely be super exciting and useful for authors. Great. Yay. I would love to do that. Let's see. We have a fandom for Kingdom Keepers. And Leanne says, are you planning on doing a video about your YouTube setup? That would be really great for those of us starting YouTube. I think it's a really great video. Leanne is one of my new patrons that moved up to the author to mastermind tier that we have now. And so Leanne, let's definitely talk about that over in the mastermind group first. And like, I can show you whatever, and then figure out what's most helpful, and then maybe do a more concise kind of sneak peek video on YouTube. But I think that would be very cool. Child of God, I would love a series on how to make a fandom because my series is 7 books long and it would be cool to have a fandom. I'm so excited you guys are excited about this. Rachel says, when a reader made fan art for my book, my heart melted. It was one of my favorite moments since publishing. Exactly. And I'm so like, it shocks me, not shocks me, but I'm like, I want more people to talk about this, more authors. So Katie says, yes, breakdown books. Love that idea. Notion. I did start peeking around Notion, Katie, so I could definitely look into that. I have a video coming out next Tuesday about it. Oh, cool. It's really cool. Oh, I'm definitely watching that video, Katie. Please just direct message the link to me when it's out because I don't want to miss it. And Rachel says, I would love to see more collabs. Yay. Amanda says, that's a healthy process of giving yourself grace on your other goals while you edit. Thank you, Amanda. And Amanda is one of my good friends actually in real life and here where I live. And we were just talking this morning about perfectionism, and I hope Amanda's okay with me sharing this, but both of us are just like, perfectionism kills. It's so rough, you guys, and we can't live like that. And so she had a great idea of actually keeping track each day of the things that she can be proud of that aren't perfect, that weren't perfect, but she got done, and that she can be proud of it. And I'm like, that just warms my heart. Like, I want to do that so bad. So thank you so much for sharing that with me, Amanda. And I hope it's okay that I shared that with everybody. Let's see. Gabrielle says, how much do you feel, I'm just going to pull up my face here. How much do you feel you should share about your book while writing and editing it? I know the earlier you start sharing, the more people are excited for it. Gabrielle, this is such a great question. And being a couple years into this and still not having a published book out, but like having chronicled the process as I've been going, I feel like I actually have so much to say about this. So I'm going to write this question down and try to do a video about it because that it just is a whole topic in and of itself. But thank you so much for asking, and definitely look out for a shout out when I create that video, because it'll be for you. Child of God says more collabs with Bethany Atazada would be awesome. You two are my favorite. Okay, well, because you just mentioned that, okay, I have to tell you guys that next week you guys are going to get a collab, because this is such a great segue. Thank you. Next week, I'm going to be not doing a live stream, but sharing a 5 a.m. writing vlog where I vlogged my writing, waking up at 5 a.m. 5 days in a row with Bethany Atazada and Mandy Lynn. And we'll tell you guys in that video why we did that, and what was the impetus. Basically, it was Bethany's idea, and we were all like, oh, I think we want to do this. I don't know. And we then decided that we were going to do it together. And then we've taken a while to like actually edit them, but then we're going to post them next week. So they're going to go live at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you watch the premiere of my video, I will be in the chat box, like sort of chatting with you guys, just like I am now, except I won't be on video. But you'll see the pre-made video, and I'll be in the chat box, if that makes sense. I hope it does. But yes, so it will not be at 1 p.m. like my videos usually are. It'll be at 11 a.m. So just keep mind on that. And yes, vlogs sounds amazing. They take a lot of time though. So just be patient with me. Let's see, Leanne, what will all go crazy for when we publish fan art, our own fandom YouTubers talking about our books? Yes. And I'm really excited about the YouTubers talking about our books. But then I also know that people can be super critical. And that's part of the like, inside my heart that I'm like, oh, please be kind. Please be kind. It's my first book, my baby. Bethany says, love collaborating with Brittany, and this vlog is going to be so much fun. I agree. I'm excited. Rachel says, yes, I started writing at 5 a.m. since I heard about y'all doing this. How's it been going? I've been doing it for the past week and a half and have gotten so much written. I'm so proud of you. And I'm excited to share how it went, and what basically I share in that video as you see the vlog. Like, was it worth it? Do I recommend it? And what I'm doing going forward. So there's that. Cool. Okay, guys, you are always epically fantastic and amazing, hanging out with me for so long. I'm going to sign off here. And actually, now that I've got some super fanciness going on, I'm going to sign off here. I just want to thank you guys so much for being with me on this journey and hanging out with me for 40 minutes, hearing about my goals. And you guys are all amazing. Definitely remember to check out that workbook, the goals workbook, if you want to, on Patreon. And I'm excited to show you guys that vlog next week. All right, we will chat very soon. Bye, guys.